Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Coffee Catch-Ups Tuesday. Hope you all had an awesome weekend. I certainly had a great weekend. It was actually my birthday weekend, and it was really, really awesome. Not much choice, but to spend time with family, but really enjoyed the time with family. Ate lots, drank lots, had an awesome weekend. And actually, about half an hour ago, I was sitting here in my office, and the staff here at Wealth Mentor, the mentors and the team all burst into my office with a cake and singing away, which was really cool. So it's really nice. And also, I got even some cool stuff. I got messages from all the team members jumping in and saying happy birthday, which was really, really cool. Thank you for joining me. I can see a bunch of you jumping in live. Really awesome to have you here today. And I'm excited again. And I know I say this every week. I'm excited about my guest. But we've got a really, really exciting guest, someone that I met back in 2018. And I see a lot of this guy on social media. He's out there doing his utmost to be able to share his knowledge and to change people's lives. I love that. And I'm really excited to have him on here. So let's make sure that everything's working correctly. Bryce, you there, my man?
Yeah, Jono, I am. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure, eh?
Oh, mate, it's so good to see you on here. And for the bit of context, Bryce, I met we worked it out in May in 2018. I can actually see a wee certificate in the background there as well with Wealth Mentor on, which is pretty cool, where I spent some time with Bryce in a one-on-one and worked through his property journey and went on to do a couple of cool deals. And now Bryce has moved into the position where he's created a business around trying to help people out. Absolutely love that. Bryce, I'll give you the floor for a minute, man. Introduce yourself, tell people who you are and why you're on here, I guess.
Yeah, thanks, Jono. So I'm Bryce. I live down in Ashburton. I first got into property when I was 23, so that was my first major goal. I was working in hospitality, and I managed to put away about $500 a week. And for those first 3 years, got to buy my first house at 23. And just after that, I kind of met Jono, and I knew property was a vehicle for wealth and to set myself up for the future. After that, I sold that property and then did a flip and made some money in that. Just before COVID, I sold up. But I was all money orientated in the start, and now I'm in a position where I've set myself financially, but I was making all these really great changes in my life with personal development, motivation, how to make money. And then someone asked me, why are you not helping other people that need your help? And so that planted the seed. And then at the start of the year, back in January, I finished working altogether to set myself up as a life coach. I'm still working out my niche, but I know I can serve people. I just consume knowledge like anything. That's I'm really passionate about, is learning. And then just working on the business side, and then helping other people to achieve what they want to achieve, expanding their mind to the realities that they can achieve if they put their mind to it. So, yeah.
Mate, it's so epic. It's so cool to hear. And, I was really excited. I actually reached out to you and said, when are you coming on my coffee catch-up? Because I see all your posts that you do. And I really love the idea that you've come up with. So daily posts, our daily, is that, because I see them a lot.
Yeah.
With you and a sign. Tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind that and what it is that you put on the sign as well.
Yeah, so I call it Life Advice with Bryce, and I do it pretty much every day. If I don't, there must be something, but consistency is key for me. And anything that I'm learning, there'll be key phrases or key quotes that stick out to me, and I'm just like, that's so great. And so I put it when I was still working in the coffee shop. So it's almost been a year now since I've been doing it. And I'd asked the boss, and I said, oh, can I just do a quote at the takeaway stand for people getting their coffees, because we'd have like 600 people coming in a day. And so I put it up there, and then from there it just grew. And everyone was loving it. And then someone said, oh, I reckon it looks better if your face is on it. So my friend actually gave me a pegboard I've actually got one here. So I got this wee pegboard that's tomorrow's. And I just come up with a quote every day. and share it. And like we were saying before, I get messages like sometimes it's just that one message at the start of the day that can set you right. Not every day is for everyone, but oftentimes there'll be something that just hits you right when you need it. And that's how I feel like the universe works. You learn the things you need to know. Everything happens when you need it to happen. So
yeah.
yeah.
And it's funny because I've told people the story before that I once heard from someone who watched the show, and they're telling me how they had a tough day, and then the energy that came from me and the guest that was on the show, really brightened up their day. Or you hear about people who are using this as their daily commute home or to work, and how they're loving it. And just knowing that you can inspire, you can help, you can just drop a bit of knowledge, just even for one person, is hugely rewarding. And I think you're on the same boat as me, that you just want to be able to help in any ways you can. And this is the means that you've obviously discovered to do that. In terms of you as an individual and continuing to grow, because you want to keep becoming the best version of yourself. There's no doubt about that. I know that about you from working with you and also seeing what you go about. What are some of the things that you do personally, or potentially, challenges you've overcome to what you're doing now to just become that best version of yourself?
So I have some non-negotiables. So I'm always learning, always be learning. There's a couple of really great podcasts I recommend. There's Tom Bellew and Impact Theory, and he brings on real experts in different areas, or Lewis Howes and the School of Greatness. So I always have a podcast that I can learn for the week. But also maintaining health and energy. That is massive for me, having that vitality to wake up each day with the energy to go after it and become more. But also surrounding yourself with the right people that are going to push you. I actually remember back when I did the 3-day event up in Auckland before the mentorship, that they came across with the price point, and I just didn't have that money. But I knew it was something that I wanted, and having that doubt, can I do it? But then once you do it, when you find the means, you push yourself, you realize that's where all the juice is. That's where the accelerated growth is. And ever looking back, everything is better for it. So just surrounding yourself and pushing yourself. Because I just feel my generation definitely, they're just too, they're just too calm about life, and they just go with the motions. And it sometimes takes that critical threshold of pain for them to realize there's a lot more to life. So by inspiring others to realize there's more for them, I don't want them to wait before something happens for them to. Because either we can change ourselves or life's going to make us change. But just keeping those non-negotiables, always be learning, always push yourself, and having that healthy pressure. You don't want to have that pressure that robs your joy, but you need some sort of pressure to make you grow a bit faster.
Absolutely. And it sounds like you have another quote there for the board halfway through there. That sounds bloody good. In terms of helping people, or especially now when COVID times are tough, right? It's been exhausting. I'm one that's, you have your struggles you go through. You business owners, especially in this current times, we're putting our utmost in. We keep, unfortunately have issues affecting us. But in terms of things that people can do just to try and keep their positive mindset, their growth, their attitude towards life, what are some things that you would recommend on a daily basis, or things that people can get out there and do just to become, again, the best version of themselves?
I think a major one for me has always been try to control what you can control. There's a lot of things that we cannot control, and we want to be in a position where we're not reacting to our environment, but we're being proactive, and these things that we cannot change. So there's a lot of politics involved, and it's not about that. It's about asking yourself, what do you believe in? What can you control? What's within your power? Because if you're trying to change things that you can't change, it's just going to cause you more frustration. So just being preemptive and just controlling your things. And another one for me is I have a daily question on my whiteboard here, and it's like, am I focusing on what's missing or what I have? And oftentimes we can be focused too much on what's missing when all the things that we need for joy are right in front of us, and we're just not appreciating it. Because there's a lot of the times we're strivers, and that's really great, and we're striving for these things. But if you look at why we're striving, it might be for love or for joy, and you might already have those things in front of you, and the love and the joy should be the main goal, and then the striving should come secondary, because otherwise you're just spending all that time based on, so just always focusing on love and joy, because I think they are the ultimate values we can have.
That's really powerful. And you know what? It gives me a lot of joy watching you in the space, because of I've, from the 2 years ago that I met you, or 3 years ago now, the growth that you've had as an individual is exceptional. And I take my hat off to you, and seeing the space and hearing you speak like this is hugely inspiring. So congratulations in that regard. It's epic to hear that.
It was quite cool actually. So it's almost been like a year now. And I was watching when I first did my UPW last year, and I said, right, this is what I want to do. And I put that first video on Facebook, and when I was speaking, I didn't really know how to speak, and I was filling up my sentences with verbal clutter. So finishing every sentence with, or making one sentence gigantic by saying because, and then just watching that video when it came up on my memory to today. And that's just 1 year. And so I just want to keep growing for the next years, and it's exponential. Keep working, and
it's epic. All right, now in terms of you for your future, what do you feel like is your bigger purpose? Now, what gets you out of bed, your purpose in life? I think we've all got a fair idea about it, but what is it that you're looking to do in terms of being able to change the future of people, or whatever it is for you as an individual? What is that purpose?
For me, it is inspiring others to live as inspired as I am. Having those breakthroughs that they can have. I found that my purpose, pretty much in March and April, I just realized like this is where I was meant to be. And as we were saying before, through winter, I went through that the challenge of the lows, starting something new. But you realize that when you have dreams, like if it's your true dream, you can't walk away from it. And I realized that very quickly, this is something that I cannot walk away from. And for me, I found pretty early, and I'm very grateful, that contribution is so powerful. When you can help improve someone else's life, that sense of worth of the contribution, you're making a difference in someone else's life. There's no monetary figure you can put on that. And if I'm privileged, or you're privileged to walk down your favorite beach when we've settled down and come across someone that just says, I remember you and you changed my life so long ago, that's the juice. Yeah.
I could not agree more. And getting those moments is surreal. I get them, and it's so surreal to hear that. And that definitely is the juice. I absolutely agree with you. A question that I love getting to ask every single guest, and there's not one guest that's been on here without me getting to ask this question, because I think it's so unique to everybody. One of the things that I've done with Wealth Mentor is really try and encompass all elements of wealth, because wealth has so many different facets to it. It's not just about the financial position. But for you, as Bryce, Elvy, what is wealth, and what does that term actually mean to you, having wealth or being wealthy?
For me, I think it's 2 words, and I can elaborate, but I think it's having the ability to care for those that you love, and then the creativity to create the life that you want. So having that power and privilege, so that anyone that you love or care about, if there's something that they need, you can be there to care for them. And then when that's all sorted, having the power and the means to create the life that you want to live, encompassing all your passions. And so for me, that is wealth, to be in that position.
Yeah. Mate, epic reply. So, Bryce, in terms of people wanting to find you, I mean, I think people have to at least jump on and follow you on Instagram or in Facebook and be able to see the signs every day. Where's the best place for people to find you? And, yeah, actually, I've got nothing else to add. Where's the best place?
So I'm very active on Facebook.
Yeah.
I do my daily post on there, and that links over to Instagram as well. And also, I try to do a content video once a week on a different topic. And it's quite funny because sometimes the advice, I'm doing it for myself. It's what I need to hear, but oftentimes what I need is also what everyone else needs. So as I'm learning a new topic and it relates to me, while it's fresh in my mind, I like to teach it so that it settles in me even further. So, yeah.
All right, cool. Well, we'll get one of the team members to search you up and put links into the chat so we can get people to find you and enjoy the inspirational quotes that I get to see every day as well. Get them out there. In terms of goal setting, because obviously goal setting is a big part of of the field that you're in. What are some tips that you would give in terms of goal setting? And then at the same time, I want you to carry on and answer for me. What is it that your goals are?
Yeah. So goal setting is massive, and there's a lot of factors into it. But if I had to sum it up, it would be like we've all heard of SMART goals, and I think most people have heard it. But it starts with your reasoning. You need something that's going to get you up through the challenging times. That reason, that why you want to do it. That's what's going to get you out of bed every morning. And if you're not pushing through something, it's because your why is not strong enough. So really integrating into yourself why you want to do that. It's very important to be able to measure your goals. If you can't measure your goals, you can't manage them. So that's where I feel a lot of people fall off is they might set that New Year's resolution, but they won't go back and track their progress, and it takes that whole next year before they realize they haven't. So the more you measure, the more you can manage. So if you're measuring once a year, you can have a bad year and fall off. If you're measuring once a month, you can have one bad month and then pull yourself. But if you're measuring once a week, or once a day, you can pull yourself back on track if you ever find yourself slipping. And something that I've been lacking, so this is kind of fresh on me, is environment and support. That's huge. Having someone else with you in your corner, helping you. So that's something that I'm working on right now. I've been trying to go this alone, and I'm going to make it by myself nonetheless. But when you have that support and that environment and someone that's pushing you along, that condenses your time, because time and energy is your ultimate resource. And so having that support in your corner and definitely just celebrating along the way. We always think that the big goal that's where the joy is. And if I had to go back to buy my first house, I might have been joyous for maybe a month or 2 months, but then you get to that stage where you're just like, and now what? And so having that joy for the whole journey, not just the destination, and always having that next goal to push yourself. But if you want me to, I've done this really exciting research on like the dopamine system and on motivation. I don't know if you want to hear it, but I found that's the biological systems. But yeah, so
yeah. Well, go for it. If you've got a couple of minutes, I'd love to hear it. If change lives, go for it.
So the dopamine system is our reward system in our brain. So when we have that feeling of satisfaction, that we get that drip of dopamine. And so what we want to do is we want to try to attach our dopamine to the struggle part of the process. So even though we have our big goal, we want to attach our dopamine to that progress. So if your goal is to lose 10 kilos or your goal is to save this much money, we should be attaching our dopamine and that feel-good factor to the process. So where we've completed day one, that's worth celebrating. And the more we can encourage ourselves to the dopamine, to the struggle, the more motivated we are going to be. And I feel that's where a lot of the youth struggle is they get their dopamine, but they're not exerting the effort required to get that dopamine. So they've got Netflix, they've got fast food, they've got everything at their fingertips, and they're not have to exert much effort to get these things. And so their dopamine's getting hit, but they're not exerting the effort. So when the effort is required for them to push for that goal, they don't have it because they haven't attached the dopamine to the effort. So just kind of understanding that if we're motivated and we're embracing the struggle, we're more likely to keep pushing, and then the goal is just the cherry on the top.
Mate, that is epic. That is so powerful. So if anyone jumping on watching that, I mean, give us your feedback on that, because I love that. Thank you for sharing that. I think that's it's hugely, the concept, I guess, when it's explained, makes a lot of sense. But it's not something you consider either, because often you go, okay, well, I'll celebrate once I've achieved my 10 kgs worth of loss, but what about the process and the journey? So amazing. And also, the current situation with the easiness of getting the dopamine of Netflix and social media, it makes a lot of sense. So thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate that. What I am going to do, though, I'm going to give you the final word to share with everybody before we wrap up and go and have some lunch. Is there anything you would like to share with the viewers that are jumping on either live or will be watching the recording to finish up with? I've been hugely inspired, not only with the things that you said, but watching you grow as an individual. To speak to you today, compared to the person I was speaking to 3 years ago when you came through. Is hugely exceptional. So congratulations on that. But any last words you would like to share with anybody before we finish up today?
Yeah, I think I'm no smarter than anyone else, and there's just so much information out there for us. And if we take the time to, even if it's 30 minutes a day, we can all find time to grow ourselves. And the progress is the growth, and the progress is what makes us really happy. And don't discount yourself too many times. We're our own worst enemy, and have faith in yourself, and then find the things that you need. Because everything that you want, you can have. It's not going to be easy, but if you're willing to put in the work, you're going to get the rewards, and then you will then go full circle, I think, once you find how inspiring it is to help other people, and even amplify that joy even more.
Mate, epic. Guys, don't forget to jump on, follow Bryce on his journey. He's out there inspiring so many people, and we thank you for all the effort and time that you put into helping people. It really is exceptionally inspirational. And for everyone out there, don't forget as well, jump into the YouTube channel, Wealth Mentor YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button. I think this is episode number 35 or 36 of Coffee Catch-Ups. So make sure you jump in there, check them all out, like the video, subscribe. It does help for us to be able to share the exceptional knowledge like Bryce has shared with us today with so many other individuals. And lastly, on a personal plug, Bryce, I had a goal and I'm working towards it, but it's to grow my Instagram following by double. I've got some work to do, but it is getting there. So make sure you guys go on, find my Instagram, give me a follow. And most importantly, guys, join us on Thursday. Bryce, been an absolute pleasure. Everybody out there, have a great day. And most importantly, as always, don't forget, stay awesome. See you, everyone.